My nephews sat in with my group for the first time. They're experienced players. I've been running this campaign for years. And the group is comparing investigation stats, actual numbers out loud, rattling off modifiers. They get to my nephew and he looks up and says, I've investigated a time or two. The table stopped. Every single person noticed it. Nobody knew quite what to say. Now that's the method actor working perfectly. But I want to talk about what happens when they don't. The over role player makes everything take longer. They won't do the obvious thing because their character wouldn't do that. They have a 47-page backstory that explains why. Pages 14 through 19 specifically. And they'll stop mid-combat to deliver a monologue while an ogre is actively trying to cave in someone's skull. And the group meets for the first time. The DM has some contrivance to get everyone in the same room because that's how D&D works and everyone knows it. The overrole player knows it too, but their character is suspicious of strangers. Deeply suspicious. So they play it, fully, authentically. And the session that was supposed to launch an adventure becomes a 2-hour negotiation between fictional strangers who don't trust each other yet. Now, I've watched DMs age visibly in real time. But here's what the method actor found that nobody else at the table has. A reason to care that they built themselves. You gave them a world, and they gave themselves a person to live in it. And when it works, nothing else comes close. I've investigated a time or two. 6 words, no numbers, and no metagaming. Just a person in a world being themselves. And a table full of experienced players who stopped dead because they'd never seen it done naturally like that before. The overrole player isn't doing something wrong. They're doing something right in the wrong moment. And here's the note I give every overrole player I've ever run for. Role play within the confines of the intent of the scene. That's it. That's the whole note. Your character is suspicious of strangers? Great. Play that. But these strangers are going to become the most important people in your character's life. You don't know that yet. Your character doesn't know that yet. But the scene is an introduction, not an interrogation. Play suspicious in a way that still lets the scene do what it needs to do. The method actor who grinds a session to a halt isn't too committed to their character. They're just not reading what moment they're actually in. And that's fixable, but not by telling them to roleplay less. That's like telling a musician to care less about the music. Instead, tell them to listen to the rest of the band. The best method actors I've ever run for were the ones who realized their characters existed inside a story, not instead of one. That their choices had weight precisely because the other people were making choices too. My nephew figured that out instantly without being told. I've investigated a time or two. He knew exactly what the scene needed, and he gave it everything without giving away a single number. Now, if you've got a method actor at your table, don't ask them to stop. Ask them to listen to the other players, to what this moment actually needs, and then get out of their way, because when it clicks, you'll remember it for 45 years. You may not have investigated it yet, but the tavern's still open. Pull up a chair and tell me all about it.